Hold on. Let's see, starting webinar. Okay, I think it's, yeah, good. I don't play music very well. My dad's a great pianist. He's really not professional, but he's amazing. Well, let me ship this out of here.
Did I hear you correctly? You're producing a movie about Buddy Holly?
Yeah, it's called Clear Lake. I'm one of several producers on the movie. We have, hold on, it's set up at STX Films. We have a kid named Rory O'Connell. He's on a show called The Princess, and he's a young kid from, hold on, let me get.
You know what, we'll talk about it offline. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
It's just, we're in LA, everyone has stuff going on. Where'd you guys go? Hold on, I lost you. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna hand it off to you. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right, I'll sit in. I can hang on for a minute or two if you want, but
okay.
You guys want to do your own talking.
Right.
Cool.
Tess, thank you for being here.
Thank you for hosting.
I guess without any further ado, because I believe Catherine is either not going to make it or she may dial in later, so we might as well go ahead and get started. I will open the meeting at 6:34 p.m. We have one person here. I guess there's no real need to take vocal attendance. So the first thing that we wanted to do was review and approve the minutes. So I think, Tess, you were at both of those meetings, right? January and February?
I was not at the January meeting.
Okay.
And let's see. But I was at the, hold on.
The February.
Yeah, I've only missed one meeting to my knowledge. So it looks like it was the January one.
Okay.
I'm just double checking. There's so many documents here. Hang on.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I just got millions and millions of documents. Okay. And I think I'd given you my comments from before. Agendize website, request payments, QR code, social media. Cannot promote events that have fees. Okay. This looks fine to me.
Okay. And those are the February ones you're looking at, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're technically not supposed to review and approve minutes of meetings that we did not attend. So
right.
The January ones will have to hang.
I was going to say we could postpone those
further. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will just, we'll move to motion B, which is to approve the GTLNC February 2022 Outreach and Elections Committee minutes. I will vote yes. Tess?
Yes.
Great. And then Catherine will be excused, so those will be passed.
Excellent.
Good. That way next time I'll still have two, but they won't pile up. Okay. Do we have any members of the public in attendance? I guess that would just be Colby tonight. Colby?
I'm probably going to pop on any second. I have to go back to the homeowners meeting, but
okay.
I'll say goodbye now so I don't interrupt anymore. But
okay.
Thanks, guys, for doing such a great job, and I'll talk to you soon.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Colby.
Bye,
Great. So we have quite a bit. I'm sorry that Catherine is not here, but we can catch her up. I'll catch her up on what we discuss. Sorry, I'm also scanning between a bunch of different documents. So committee member news and announcements. I think this was where, if you want to just briefly give me a summary of what you wanted to agendize for next time, we could talk about it. That way I can document it.
I'm sorry I didn't get it to you sooner. I
no,
didn't
that's okay.
check my email over the weekend, but I sent you the language for the
for what you wanted to put on the agenda. Yeah.
So I guess news and announcements. Before that, we had a nice item in the Toluca Lake magazine that appeared today.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's actually very nice. They did a little feature on our community cleanup. I'll actually just send you a quick email, which I thought was really nice. And because we're having these monthly cleanups, item that appears in current Toluca Lake magazine. So this is a good resource. And what's funny is I didn't even try to get publicity for this. I guess they heard about our cleanups and sent a reporter, which is really nice. So I just emailed that to you. And I point that out not only because I think it's a cool thing, but also because we have this capability and this, I guess you'd call it a news organ for our outreach efforts. All right. So there's that. And the item that I wanted to agendize that, I mean, I think we could even put it on the general board meeting agenda, but I think it would be good to go through our committee first, is a community impact statement to request that the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, that a independent financial and performance audit be performed. Did I send you a link to the item about the CIS that was filed by the?
Did send me something. I didn't have a chance to review it in depth.
It's all right. It's the Reseda Neighborhood Council went pretty deep into some financial, let's just call them improprieties related to spending on last year's outreach and elections. And if you don't have it handy, I can send it to you again. But it was a pretty thoroughly researched community impact statement. And now at least a half a dozen, probably I think closer to a dozen neighborhood councils have filed something similar. And it goes on for about, let's see, how many pages? 5 or 6 pages about really spending by the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment that did not, was not paid to legitimate sources. They paid sources for social media promotion that did not perform social media as a profession. And some of them even did the outreach and promotion after the elections had closed. So it's a 6-page document. Do you have it handy? Do you want me to send you a link again?
No, I can pull it up. I do have it handy.
And there's also a council file, which is referenced at the top of the document. And if you look there now, you can see, if you go to the council file, you'll see at least, I think, a dozen neighborhood councils have filed community impact statements. So I think this is very, very important because the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment is requesting $1 million for this election cycle. And, if they're not handling the money well that they currently have, there's no basis whatsoever to give them twice as much.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they are limiting the monies that they are distributing to the neighborhood councils themselves. Before you came on board, Paige, we used to have $42,000. And then with COVID, it was cut to $32,000. Now, the amount that we get, it's not like it's going to make that much of a difference, but I find it pretty aggravating that they give themselves raises and then they give us pay cuts, essentially. So
is that the community impact statements that I'm seeing on the upper right?
Are you looking at the council file?
Yes.
Yeah. Most of those are community impact statement. Yeah. If you click them.
And those are all relating to this issue?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So the last time I looked, which was last week, there were about a dozen. Yeah. Community impact statements. It looks like there's been even a couple more filed. So
I see one from Rampart Village and one from.
Yeah. Rampart Village was especially annoyed because they,
Encino.
Yeah, actions and omissions by the department have borne out our concerns as valid. Just mishandling is basically what it is. So you might want to review some of those. I'm going to take, I started to draft at the community impact statement, but I hadn't have time this week for a bunch of reasons. And then we can put that before the board, but it's worth looking at. And you're brand new to this and I'm relatively new to this as well. I've been attending these meetings for a long time, but like you, I'm a new board member, but I've seen the habits and the patterns of, the umbrella organization probably for a little bit longer than you have. And I take great issue with failure to cause compliance when in fact this is the this is the organization that's responsible for compliance. Oh, and I will mention one other interesting thing. I don't know if you recall at that the election in July last year, that there were a couple people who called up and said very unpleasant things about me.
Yeah.
They called to apologize.
Really?
They came to our neighborhood watch meeting last week. And it turns out they had gotten very bad information. So I thought that was really nice. Isn't that something?
It's nice that they apologized. It's less nice that it had to happen at all.
Yeah. Well, look, you take what you can get, right?
That's fair.
All right. So I will draft something up and get that over to you, but I suggest that you have a look at that because that will be the topic of the community impact statement. And basically we're just asking for I want to ask for an independent audit, financial and performance audit, so that we know where this money went, and they shouldn't get a dime more than they're already getting. Frankly, they should get less, and they should be they should be accountable for what monies they do have in their coffer.
I think that's more than reasonable.
All right. So that concludes my announcements, I suppose.
Okay. I will make sure that we have the note of that, and I'll make sure it's on the agenda for the April meeting.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, quick updates on, I'll do the website and promotional sticker first because I think those are a bit easier. The website notes were sent to TYS. They confirmed that they received them. They said they were going to go through the notes and see what they could do immediately and what might need more information from us. Certain places like correcting the contact people, they might have needed us to look stuff up, etc. And I asked them for an update on Monday of this week on where we were with that, and I haven't heard back yet, but I did notice that on the website, a couple of things have changed. So I'm waiting for the full list back from them on what's done and what they might need more information, but at least that's in progress. And those are all the notes combined from you, me, and Catherine on the existing website as it is.
So for Monday, which would have been the 7th. And when did you send them the notes?
I sent them. Oh, that's a good question. It was a
last
bit
week or
ago. Let me see my sent box here. I sent them. It looks like maybe February 23rd.
Okay.
That I think it was earlier than that. Oh, here they are. My first, February 23rd.
Okay, cool. All right, so good. So some of the changes are being made. That's good. I know this came up yesterday at the executive committee meeting. Has the payment issue been worked out? I think some kind of tax document was requested from them by the city. They don't have the actual document, but they have a receipt of some kind that was supposed to be sufficient. And now we're waiting. Okay. Yeah. But that's good.
I haven't gotten an update from them, at least, on where that stands. They may have submitted that document. They just haven't.
And are you now interfacing with them directly, Paige?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm in touch with somebody named Raymond there that Colby said we could just reach out to directly.
Okay, good. So. That's going to be a big move forward too, because with all due respect to some of the people helping on our board, some of them are not, they don't know websites. And so when you're communicating via third party who doesn't speak the language, that just slows it down. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's helpful, at least, that they've kind of finally relented and agreed to let me do that.
Okay.
Okay. So then the next thing is the promotional sticker. Do I have the ability to share my screen? Yes, I do. So I'm going to share this with you. I'll show you what I created. Sorry, I also have too many things open. Share my whole desktop because I don't actually know where the file is. I thought I did. Oh, shoot. I can't share my screen, apparently. But I'm the host. I'll be able to record until, okay. I don't want to quit though. Shoot. Okay. How else can I do this? Let's see.
Is it not letting you share, or you just
Yeah,
simply
it's
can't
saying
find-
something about my permissions on my computer.
Oh, it says here we are. You are viewing Paige's screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go. Okay, maybe I just clicked
Paige
the wrong thing
Lake,
the first time.
catch up with your community. Okay.
Okay, so it's basically 4 inches by 4 inches. That is a QR code that I created that does go directly to GTLNC.org. As we had talked about, it's got both the QR code and the directions for the website. And then, the rest of it is pretty simple. I can make any changes to it that we think might be needed, but basically I called around to a couple of local print shops. The one that seemed to sort of know the most and have, gave me the most confidence that they sort of asked all the right questions and, wanted to know what it was for and recommended a material, was NoHo Print and Graphics.
Oh yeah, they're great. Roland over there, Roland and Ronnie, they're fabulous.
Yeah.
Good. Tell them you work with me and they'll give you a fat discount.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
We'll try that. Yeah. As it was to print 500 stickers, they said it would probably only be about $200.
Good.
Okay. And that's on vinyl because as I talked about with them, we might, some people, it could be on outside of things. We may be putting these on, windows. He said they'll come right off of windows, but they're also, more weatherproof and that kind of thing. So I think we can think about whether we want them to be the kind that would go on the inside of a window and stick that way versus the outside of a window. That's, a technical printing issue, but the good news is it's not that expensive to print. So I think we can decide if that's something we do want to do. I know.
We totally want to do it. And I think this is great. Paige, I'm thinking about the text to make it even maybe more impactful. And because this is going to be 4 inches by 4 inches, what we're looking at right now is, easy to read because we're staring at it and it's much bigger than 4 by 4 on our screens. But if it's going to be in the corner of somebody's window, it would be a lot smaller.
And we can make it bigger. I just sort of started with that size because I was thinking about some of the places like the bulletin boards and things like that where we might put it. But, we can certainly make it any size. I think they just recommended square is cheaper than round.
I think starting this size is good. Okay, so I pulled out a ruler 4 by 4. Catch up with your community.
At that point will be quite small.
We
don't really need the first line. We could just say.
I'm just. So I think it's great. It's just to me a matter of making the text as short as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna write it out for myself and play with it while we're discussing it.
Yeah. Okay. And even, honestly, even if you want to play with it after, you can always email me whatever your thoughts are and I can make the changes and that way we can show.
Okay. So why don't we table the actual text and the size? Because I'd actually like to think about that very carefully. Yeah. And then maybe even, about AB advertising is, maybe we can print a couple hundred of one and,
sure,
a couple hundred of another and just test a little bit.
Sure.
Get the latest on events. Yeah. But having the QR code is super useful. I'm going to look at the Studio City one too, because they're really good at this. And
I have that QR code as its own separate image now too. So we can kind of stick that on anything.
Okay.
In the future.
Okay. Good. Well, good work. Very nice work.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's, I'll work on the text a little bit, just one, not even a sentence, even like 3 or 4 words or bullet points.
Yeah.
Because you have to, if it's only going to be 4 inches,
right.
It's this much text would not be legible.
Right.
If it were at the bottom of a corner, shop when somebody's walking in, but yeah. Excellent.
it's forward progress at least.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
so the next piece of that was I did want to do the funding motion.
Mhm.
And now I'll just say full disclosure, I had drafted this agenda before I had gotten the quotes back. And so based on Catherine's advice, I was trying to make it as high as I could possibly imagine just to make sure that it would be covered. So obviously based on what I told you, even if we change the size or the quantity a little bit, it'll be nowhere near that cost. But the motion is to approve up to $750 for the printing of the GTLNC promotional stickers.
Okay,
I
so,
will first that motion.
and I will second it. Okay.
Great.
Hooray. So 500 stickers, $200. So I'm fine with approving the 750. Well,
Can we, this is where I wish we had Catherine, because can we
well-
amend it to like 500?
yeah, I don't see why not.
I don't know if we have to, I don't know what the separate.
Well, is anyone going to criticize us for being
Probably not.
frugal and spending less? I mean, my
No,
God. Okay.
of course not. I just wouldn't want, because all these documents are so public,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't want it to scare anyone that it looks like we're spending that much when we didn't.
No, well, you've done your due diligence and you've done your research and you've done absolutely the right thing, and less will be needed. And
so then maybe we can vote on an amended amount of 500 just to make it.
All right. So I propose a motion that we amend the amount to 750. Do you first it?
You amend it to 500.
So what did I say? To 500, yes.
Yeah. Great. Yes, I'll first that.
Okay. I don't know if I can second a motion that I proposed, but I will do so because we're in extenuating circumstances. And okay, so we have hereby amended it to $500 because we don't need to spend $750.
Great.
So I vote yes on 500.
Great. I also vote yes.
All right, motion
Catherine is
passes.
excused. Motion passes. So I guess my only question is, in the minutes, do I put that as, like, how do I document the amendment? Do I just change it to 500 or do I?
Yeah, motion amended from 750 to 500 upon learning that the cost to print was lower than anticipated.
Okay.
And then it was voted on and changed.
Okay. Great. Okay. Perfect. So then I think the next thing is we'll all put that on the, I guess that goes to the executive committee for the funding request now? Or does it go to the full board? It goes to the full board.
I think it can go to the full board. Just, just send it to Colby.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so that covers that. And then the last thing on ongoing business was the resource guide. And this was where I was hoping to bring in, I'm still sharing my screen. That's helpful.
Okay.
Didn't realize.
So you basically took the document that I forwarded you and you put in Toluca Lake or our area resources. Is that right?
Well, that was, so no, because the problem that I had was it was in a PowerPoint format, and when I'm trying to open it, it's only opening as a like a PDF, basically. Like I can only see it as an image, so I couldn't make changes. I know that it's in an editable format, but I was just having a problem with, I don't have PowerPoint on my personal computer. It's on my work computer. I haven't switched it back. So I will make all those changes, but I wanted to kind of get like a complete list of, the other things that we thought we would need to edit.
Okay.
And then I guess I had two questions, because in the one sense, it does look like it's a rather lengthy, like it's made to be a PowerPoint. And I imagine what we want to do is create like some sort of pocket.
Yes, absolutely.
Printable, whether that's like an index card size or,
I'd like to have the business card size, because that can go into people's pockets, or some version of that. And by the way, if you're not able to edit it on your computer, I can edit it on mine.
Okay.
If you tell me what you want edited, I can.
Yeah, I guess that was just where I ran into the challenge was, you know, all these areas with the boundaries, I mean, aren't those would be totally different for our neighborhood. And I'm not sure that I know.
Well, I think the homeless resources guide, we within the greater Toluca Lake neighborhood boundaries are not, you know, a resource that is 500 feet outside of our boundaries is not
Sure.
precluded from being on that resource guide.
Sure.
In fact, for all we know, one of the central resources might be in Van Nuys for certain kind of homeless resource. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the idea is for them to be mostly local and central, because people don't know where, when they want to help, they don't know where to refer someone.
Right.
They don't know the first place to start. You know, this person needs a shower, but do they know that St. Charles on Moore Park provides free showers twice a week?
Right.
Right. So, you know, as
so
to,
it's, I guess it's all that information that, like, do you have that compiled somewhere already that is specific to, that might not be in the Studio City one?
I have a fair, hang on, let me look what I have, because I have collected these sorts of things over time. And in fact,
because I can like format it, but that was the problem when I went through it. I was sort of like, this is kind of hard because I don't know. I don't know what our local options are.
I carry some with me. Let me just look quickly at my computer here, and resources. Oh, here we are. Okay. East Valley online resource card. Did I send that to you?
I don't think you did. No.
Okay. I can email that to you while we're here. Let me just look real quickly.
Because I know that Colby's anxious to do this. I just want to make sure that we have something before the next board meeting to
oh, sure.
show.
Okay. East Valley, this one unfortunately is about is a little dated. It's from 2018. And then all right, I'm going to send you what I have right now via email.
Okay.
And then you can look at them while we're on the phone here, or on the meeting here. Okay, let's see. Inbox.
And because for my, as far as like strategy, what I was planning to do was to sort of update this PowerPoint to basically have our logo, but you know, also any additional resources. And then I think the other thing that we could do together, which would be great, is just to determine like what of this is the most important information for the sort of printed card size. Because there is a lot of information here, and it wouldn't all fit on, you know, something physical that we want to create. So if we want to create we can obviously make these slides available online. But
no, you know, the goal is something small to give to people, and something small. It's a 2-point distribution system that we will create these as a neighborhood council.
mm-hmm.
They'll be, you know, business card size, I think, is the most appropriate. And then we will give those to residents who encounter folks experiencing homelessness, which they can in turn give to them or direct them. You know, here is where you can get showers 2 days a week. Let me point you in the right direction, or give you. And so, you know, they give that person a business card. It's either accepted or rejected, but no great harm is done if it's rejected, because it's just a business card. Okay. These documents, I think, are a little bit large, but I'm sending them to you now. So there's 4 of them, and only one of them is a resource card. Let's see. East Valley Alliance. So I would have to make sure, obviously, that as many of these are current as possible. And included there is, I got this idea from Beverly Hills. They have a human services division, and the little pamphlet that you see there is.
Oh, right. This, I think you've shared before, the Beverly Hills one.
Yeah. And that's a little larger than business card size. It like folds it, but it would, you know, go into your wallet. And this is great, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is helpful. So yeah, so in that case, it's really just, that one's just emergency numbers. It doesn't really help you with in terms of like the boundary lines of what, you know, who you call when.
Right. I'm going to also call, the city has a homeless committee, and I'm going to spend some time on their website and call them tomorrow and see what they have and tell them what we're trying to do.
Okay.
And there's also a guy named Leon who is.
Yeah, see, I think this East Valley one is more what I was imagining in terms of.
Leon Stainsberg. Hi, Leon. I'm going to drop him a line too. And see if I can get a copy of the resource card that he distributes. I go through tons and tons of them, but I don't have any handy right at this moment.
Got it.
I'll make a note to text him after this meeting. Okay.
That would be great. Yeah, because I kind of just ran into at first I thought it was just kind of updating it to for our own neighborhood council branding. And then I realized like there's a lot of information here we'd have to figure out. What's relevant and what needs to be added, and also then what is the most critical stuff to include on the small version.
Send me a copy front and back of the resource card. You distribute. Okay, he'll get something over to me. Distribute. We'd like to print. We'd like to. Okay, cool.
Great. Okay. Moving right along. The new business I had only put down. So I did the training, the neighborhood council. I guess it's I guess it's done. That's running them. The core training programs, and there was one on hosting candidate forums leading up to the election. So I think there's a lot that I have access to the recording, and we can always go back when we're ready to do this. But I thought some of the most interesting stuff that they touched on was that you don't have to think about a candidate forum in the traditional way of a separate event that might have costs. And they were basically saying that you could do a candidate forum at an ongoing meeting. So if we made it part of a board meeting, we could invite all the candidates to attend that board meeting and allow them to speak during the public comment period. And that would be one way we could do it. We could also invite them to we could invite different candidates each month to speak during the public comment period. So they could all come to one meeting. They could come to a series of meetings, as long as we're offering it to all candidates.
Right. I attended that training as well. And I think,
great. Okay.
Yeah, the simpler, the better. And which candidates did you have in mind? Or did you have any in mind at the moment?
I didn't for this immediate thing. I kind of wanted to make sure that we knew, whether or not that was something. In my mind, prior to that training, I had really been thinking that it was a separate event that we would have to host, and that might be a big lift. But now that we know that we could invite them to any meeting, I think that seems like the most achievable way to do that.
And frankly, the smarter ones among them understand that they can do that and should be reaching out to us. But
right.
So I don't know if you saw it, but just last week, Idrin Nazarian withdrew from the assembly district race with Laura Friedman. So as of this moment, I think she may be running unopposed. I think there might have been one or two candidates getting ready to throw their name in the hat, but there's that. But I guess we need to survey the landscape for candidates. I mean,
it does.
I guess.
Sorry, it looks like someone has joined, and this might be Catherine. Let me see if I can.
Oh, we have a person with his hand raised.
We do. We have someone with their hand raised. Hi there.
Hey, it's Catherine.
Hi.
Sorry. Hi.
No problem.
Yeah. Sorry.
Glad you're able to join. No, that's okay.
So then you want to make a note that Catherine joined the meeting at 7:06.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder.
Catherine, we've been running amok and voting on everything without you.
I'm sure. Are there any more motions that need to be voted on this evening?
Actually, yes, we could go back to vote on the January minutes because Tess was absent for that meeting, so we were unable to vote on that without you.
Okay, great.
Let me just make it. Okay, great. So the motion was to approve the GTLNC January 2022 Outreach and Elections Committee minutes. I will
Catherine
first. Oh, Catherine will first.
Or
Can I
Paige
second
first?
my
I'll
own?
second.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at them, but they were fairly straightforward.
I think they looked good. Yeah.
Okay. And that was the one. There wasn't much content really for that meeting. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will go ahead and vote yes.
And I will also vote yes.
Great. So
And I will
those
abstain because I
approved.
wasn't there.
Yes. And so that's the
Yes,
third.
thank you.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. So the February minutes have already been approved. Catherine, I can send you the creative that I showed to Tess. What I created a sticker that we've been talking about, including a QR code. So I'll send you that. And what we talked about was Tess is going to kind of think through some suggested edits. We both sort of agreed that there might be too much text on it. So maybe you could do the same thing and just kind of give us your input.
Only
I mean, I think
because
it's fine if we've already passed any sort of funding motion tonight. It doesn't have to be perfect this evening. Obviously, we can still discuss it at the general meeting before anything is official.
Yes.
Right.
So
right.
we passed the funding motion, and then we were just planning to just make some changes, clean it up a little bit, so that what we show at the board meeting could be maybe,
Yeah, the text, and by the way, the text is fine. It's just a matter, I think, of making it less text because it's going to be a small sticker, 4 inches by 4 inches, and it needs to be seen at a glance from,
Right.
who knows what distance. But yeah, it looks really nice.
Great.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm just thinking if there's anything else we could catch you up on. We were just discussing the core training on candidate forums, and whether or not that was something that we wanted to try to pursue for any of the elections. But Tess just informed me that actually the one for our district might be unopposed at this point.
Yeah, Adrian Nazarian withdrew from the assembly race. So, that doesn't mean there won't be other, I don't, the deadline for candidates, I think candidate filings is tomorrow. So I don't know if she will remain unopposed or not.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see in the next week or two what's going to shake out.
Great.
Okay, great.
Okay. Well, that was all I had for this evening. I think we have some big next steps to get the homeless resource guide moving forward, but Tess has reached out to a couple people, or will reach out to a couple people, and we're hoping that we can get some momentum on that before the board meeting next week.
Yeah, I just got a reply from my friend. He'll send me the photos of his resource card shortly. So,
Great.
and I'm going to reach out to the homeless committee. Los Angeles City has a homeless committee. In fact, I was researching the person who was put in charge a month or so ago. So I'll look at that and see what they have. It's just a matter of drilling down and putting something. Catherine, we think that it should be on a business card sized item so that it can be distributed first to residents who, wish to be helpful, and then second, distributed onward to individuals in need. So, somebody who's homeless is not going to be carrying around a pamphlet or a PowerPoint. So giving them, I think, the smallest information, the smallest piece of literature possible, like a business card that can go into a pocket, is, in my opinion, the best way to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think that's, I just worry that there won't be enough information that we can get onto that based on what Paige had previously sent around.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think we're probably looking at two versions. So we talked about kind of having a PowerPoint that, is basically mimicked after that one. And maybe we have those slides available on the website. We can make it a PDF that's shared digitally. And then there would be a printed version that we would need to agree on what is the most critical information. Because yes, you're right. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to contain all of it. So we would have to highlight, what is the most important information that we want to fit on the physical handout.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe there's a way we can link those two, as I'm thinking to it, maybe there is also it's another QR code situation where the full guide is online and the card just kind of draws people there.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. I'm in a sort of loud area.
Are you at a party, Catherine?
No.
So yeah, I just basic information, and it's and the printing is going to be dirt cheap, and we can print different versions and update it going forward. I think the most important thing is shelter, food, showers, medications, where to get ID if you've lost yours, things of that nature. So I'll make some calls and do some research this week, Paige. So we can start to put that together.
That would be great.
All right.
Okay. Well, if nobody has anything else, I think we can go ahead and take our marching orders and close the meeting.
Good. So Paige, I'm going to research the homeless committee, the homeless information for a card, and we're going to try to get text together for the sticker to present at the general board meeting. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, that would be great.
Text for board meeting. So we'll need to get that to Robin. Well, we don't have to have it ready. When do we have to have that ready exactly, Catherine? I mean, that can be presented at the board meeting, right?
It can be. It would be ideal if we could get it to Robin at least by, I would say, Sunday morning, so that she can post it to the website.
Okay.
72 hours in advance.
That's the Sunday you're saying before the meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's not possible, it's not the end of the world, because people know that the funding motion is on there and we will be presenting the materials at the meeting. It's just preferable if we're able to get that posted Sunday night.
Paige has exercised brilliant stewardship, done her research, and found that it will cost a lot less than $750. So we passed a motion for what, $500, Paige?
Yeah, and even at that, it probably won't cost more than $250.
Well, if we get two versions of the sticker done, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for sure, make sure that you send Robin the motion language as it has been passed this evening, so she can put it on the agenda.
Yeah, I'll do that right after this.
Because she needs to get the agenda posted tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I will do that as soon as we're done here. I'm gonna take care of all that.
Okay.
Good. All right. Well done, Paige, and
Great.
glad you could join us, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you for. I know you.
Sorry that I was only able to hop on at the end.
No, that's okay. All right. Well, we'll close at 7:16, and we'll be in touch soon.